Mass incarceration exists because of the loophole in the 13th Amendment, which allows for slavery if a crime has been committed.
We can't enslave them anymore, but we can't arrest them.
We in the United States incarcerate people at absolutely alarming levels.
The 13th Amendment reads, "Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States." The 13th Amendment, a law that had the supposed intention of ending slavery. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, shall exist within the United States.
The year 1865 not only marks this passing of the 13th Amendment, it also marks the nation's first prison boom, resulting from the public's fear of crime increasing as enslaved people were freed, and the country's fear of economic depression due to the loss of free labor.
The way people thought about Black people didn't change, so all they did was enact other systems to continue to oppress Black people.
The Black Codes were then passed, outlawing outrageous things such as Black people walking at night or without purpose, and numerous other things that people did on the regular. Thus began the circulation of newly freed slaves into the prison system, and once people were in the prison, convict leasing began. Convict leasing was when state penal authorities rented out imprisoned people to private companies, who put their prisoners to work. This system was built to reconstruct the South by using free labor to create a much-needed profit. Then came the chain gangs, where prisoners, majority being Black, were chained together and forced to do mentally and physically challenging work as a form of punishment. The chain gangs were known for their brutality and candid reflection of supposedly outlawed slavery. Through these methods, slavery lived on in the form of mass incarceration. Around 1940, after a lot of backlash on the transparent use of slavery in these prison systems, correctional institutions were set in place and are still around today. Prison life under this new system was supposedly more relaxed and tolerable, but not for everyone, only those deemed capable, or white people.
What do you think about the prison/correctional systems today?
I think it's this new iteration of what chattel slavery
Is just another way for the country to keep Black people oppressed.
And so what we're seeing is this disproportionate incarceration, captivity of disproportionately Black and brown bodies. It isolates, it strips people of their humanity and objectifies them as mere tools of labor. When I'm going through my hometown, I'm acknowledging that this was a city built on stolen land with stolen labor.
We make up 5% of the world's population and 25% of the prison population. Do you think that's part of the 13th Amendment loophole?
I do trace our current predicament, having this vast prison population, to our constitutional amendment, which allows for the dehumanization and objectification of humans if they are incarcerated.
The country wanted to keep its control over Black people because they needed another way to force Black people to work as part of the prison system. Even to this day, prisoners are used for labor and work for like pennies a day because it's legal.
The prison system is in utter and complete disarray. We use the criminal law to solve a whole host of problems that go far beyond what the criminal law is designed to redress. In short, the prison industrial complex is a reflection of the poor way in which we deal with and understand the criminal law in this country.
What fundamental aspects of the prison system do you think need to change in order to get away from this idea of slavery?
Prison for profit has really eroded consciousness and really the legitimacy of the institution of criminal justice. Currently, we see this with cash bail, where people are sitting, wasting away in jail for a year, 2 years at a time, maybe more, not because they are convicted of a crime, but because they've been arrested and they can't pay their fines and fees.
The more money you have, the more likely it is you can almost buy your way out of the justice system.
Ending the cash bail system would allow folks who otherwise are already trapped in an abysmal economic system a chance to have some fair representation, continue to live their life outside of the surveillance of the state.
What do we as a community in America need to do to implement these changes or even work towards these goals?
Vote, 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 vote. If you want to reduce the incarceration rates, then elect public officials who are more creative and those who don't rely on the criminal justice system to solve every social problem that we have.
We have to get rid of this myth that the prison system is actually set up to rehabilitate people, because it's not. It's just set up to punish people. And if we really wanted to rehabilitate, we'd actually have more programs. People could get education, get skills for certain jobs, therapy and mental health programs and services, if we really were about rehabilitating people.
And we do the sorts of things so that when the wave of people come out of prison, then they are at least marginally ready to get along in society in a productive way.
A couple things, though. You have to continue to have this hermeneutic of suspicion around institutions that we've known to be staples. Asking question, what you're doing right now, question what's been normalized, and engage in a form of popular education that conscientizes people to reimagine what a new moral standard could be. Pulling back the curtains of a mechanism of a system that feeds off of Black bodies. There's a constant need to negotiate and push internally and externally. So like the same questions that we ask of people in power, we have to ask those of people in our community to help further expand the moral imagination and what could be. I think one of the critical things is to be a proximate leader in all this. Meaning if you want to change the system, get to know the people that are impacted by the system. It's like finding different ways to make a compelling moral argument in order to further your agenda. Popular education, having this hermeneutic of suspicion, and being proximate leaders to those who are directly impacted are some direct ways that you can get involved and make some change.
The prison labor industry currently makes over $1 billion a year selling the products that the inmates produce, paying the inmates as little as 12 cents an hour. To this day, people fail to see that the prison system continues to encroach on the freedoms and liberties of Black Americans for the sole purpose of free labor and profit through mass incarceration, a modern-day slavery.